safe so they can be played on another day. Rob's Arcade.
What just happened out there? Oh my goodness gracious, and welcome back to the show. Hey guys, thanks for tuning back in. Welcome back to Rob's Arcade. Just did that. We're not going to do that again. Want to wish everybody a happy Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. It's Father's Day, and hope every dad out there had an awesome weekend. Got a chance to spend some time with the family, and enjoy the things that they love most. My dad, unfortunately, passed away a few years ago. But things. I'm sorry, I'm not getting choked up. But things are interesting. Like I had been living in Florida for a little while, and like decided to, like move back home after my ex had decided to kick me out, and all of it kind of happened around the same time. So it was one of those things that was all kind of fortunate, right place. I got back home, right time. I got to be with my dad just before he passed and help my mom out with all of that. And it meant a lot to be here. I was really glad that I wasn't in Florida during all those times. And it's a really great I don't know, it's just a really great thing too. My dad, like he is really, I mean, he's the reason I am who I am, the reason I play video games, collect comics, that I'm into stupid movies. Once again, we're here hanging on Rob's Arcade. I got Ticks on, crazy old 90s sci-fi movie about killer blood-sucking ticks, not to be confused with The Tick Spoon, uh, which is also really great. But I mean, like, my dad is just responsible. Like, every time I look at something that I'm into or something that I do, or my two philosophies in work, do the best goddamn job you can do and just have a good time while you do it. If you're not having a good time while you're working hard, then you're not doing something right. And I mean, like, all of those little pieces, it all boils down to who I am. And that's kind of what these last videos have all been about. It's just being true to yourself, being true to who you are. And it's been amazing. I've talked about being able to step into this new role that I have, and it's allowed me to breathe and actually feel. It's the Y's a lot of fun. I enjoyed my time at the YMCA. I really enjoyed what I did. I'm not trying to talk down to it. It was exhausting. It was mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually draining at times. But overall, I really did enjoy it. But I was thinking about it the other day, and I think really a big part of it is I couldn't be. Once again, I really couldn't be me. You kind of have to wear this mask of, as a teen director, and as a teen, um, like mentor and a model and all of these things. You kind of have to put up a certain. You can't post certain things on your internet. You can't, do certain things on your interwebs and your social and all. You can't. You have to be wary of who is following you, and then like what you're sharing, and then who you're. It's a lot of walking on eggshells with things. There's a side of everybody, and this goes for everybody that I've worked with in the team. They all like to go out. They like to drink. They like to have a good time. They're young. They have fun. They go out. and and it's all right. And hopefully that joke landed. I hope that landed. That was not meant to. Um, that was completely improvised. That was hilarious. Anyway, and it's okay. And but they have to like kind of mask that. They can't really share that side with the teens and all of that. So you can't really be like true to you. And the same thing with me. Like there's certain things about myself and certain things that I do and certain things that I enjoy, and I can't be open with all that. And where I work now, it's more like people just are who they are. Um, it's like there's no, as a director, you kind of come in and you have to kind of have this like um, leader. I guess that's a big word. It's like it's always floating around there. It's like leadership roles, and what does that mean? And like your role models and all this. So it's like you got to have to like you come in and I'm like I'm into comics and I'm into this and I'm into that and that's what I. But I have to more or less come in and be more straight laced and a little bit more you know office Rob. And where I'm at now, just kind of can come in and be myself and, more relaxed. And it's crazy too. Like my schedules and all of it, like everything's just been so different. And so I just feel like I can be more true to myself and to who I am. And again, that all just goes back to my dad. So again, happy Father's Day to all the guys out there. Happy Father's Day to all the single moms holding it down as well. And like I said, I hope everybody just had a great weekend. Please throw some comments down below while you're hitting that like button, while you're hitting subscribe, while you're sharing this video with all your friends. Get it out a real wad, mate. Uh, but yeah, hit the comment section, man. Let me know what you guys are up to. Like I said, I lost my dad a few years ago. I don't know, maybe you've got a dad story, you want to share. But like I said, my dad, my dad wasn't a gamer. He supported my gaming. My dad wasn't really into comic books, but he supported my comics. And then the things that he was into, he also shared those things with me. And again, like I said, it's like it's all there. Like I just every time I look at something, I'm like, God damn it, there he is again. And it's a cool thing. It really is. It really is awesome. And I really do appreciate everything that he did for me and still does. I think it's one of those things too where um, as I go forward, no matter what happens, whether I lose my job or a best friend could betray me or whatever the situation is. Typically, it's my dad's like influence, support, mentality, all of those things that it's like what would dad do, kind of a thing. It's like okay, that would just buck up, press on, and keep on going. So. Happy Father's Day, Dad, and love you, miss you. But let's jump back into some other things. It's really crazy. Again, talk about being true to yourself in this new position. And Father's Day, I'm not a dad, but I had more people wish me Father's Day yesterday than I think anybody else ever has. And it's really crazy when my best friends, Scott, who is a father, messaged me yesterday, left me a really cool voice message, and was just like, hey, dude, I know you're not a dad per se, but you are in so many more aspects. And you are that role model for teens, and it is crazy. Like in my new role, like people, I still see all the kids, I still see everybody, and it's true. Like I'm not hyping this up, I'm not putting this out there, but it's evident. The proof is in the pudding that like I've kind of become a staple in the neighborhood. It's like that's that guy, and I don't look for anything in exchange. But like I said, all the kids, man, they come in, they get their drinks, they get their snacks, they dap me up, and there's a bit of respect there. It reminds me a lot of like the Peter Parker just kind of like walking through his neighborhood and hitting the deli shop and hitting these different places and like all the ladies in the neighborhood know him and all the kids, you know, um, he's saving the kid from getting bullied and it's just like it's very much the same. I love it. It's very cool. um and he mentioned that there's just like that kind of aura about me now that like because of it I kind of carry that and I own it. And he's like, I want to wish you a happy Father's Day too, because even though you're not a dad, you are. And I was like, man, that's deep, dude. I was like, I appreciate that. But then I get to work and it was like everybody I ran into, like all these ladies were like, hope you have a good Father's Day. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not a dad. And they're like, oh, okay, well, still. And it's like, it was like really wild. I think I had more people wish me happy. I've never been wished like a Father's Day, maybe once or twice. Somebody might be like, hey, and they're always like, hey, I don't know if you're a dad, but if you are, happy Father's Day. But yesterday it was like, there's no question. They were just like, happy Father. It was really cool. And then I was talking with a lady, kind of helping her find a few things. And then, I was like, let me know if you need anything else. And she was, oh, well, thank you so much. And I hope you have a happy Father's Day. And again, I was like, oh, thank you so much, ma'am. I was like, I'm not a dad. She's like, oh, no, all she said, I might get choked up with this. But she said, no, all men like you are dads in some way or another. And it literally stopped. I was like, what the hell? I was like, wow. I was like, that's exactly what like my best friend said. And I've been getting wished Happy Father's Day all day. And then now this lady, this complete stranger. I had like an 11 and a half hour day yesterday, man. It was a long day and it was a good fucking day. And it just meant a lot. And then like I said, to have her say that too, I was like, wow, that is some powerful, powerful stuff. Like when I went into the YMCA, it was really crazy. I just started there just to do something different, to try something other than just like working at a restaurant for a little while. And I really wound up enjoying it and liking what I did and working with the people and the people that I worked with and, having the free membership and all that. It was cool. I really did enjoy it. But I remember when I went full time, I had this dream. And it was the day right before I found out that I had gotten the job. It was really crazy. I think anybody who knows me knows that I love drinking coffee out of my Spider-Man mug, like right now. But I think anybody who knows me is like, knows how much I love Spider-Man and comics in general. But yeah, this crazy dream, like the day before I found out I got this full-time position, um, about being a Peter Parker. I got basically let into the club, if you will. And I remember when I lost my job at the Y, it kind of hurt because I felt like that was like the meat and the potatoes of the whole thing. Like, I was only let into this club because of what I was doing there. Because of who I was there, I was able to be this Peter Parker, and I was able to be let to this cool club that I wanted to be a part of. And then I lost my job there, and it really hurt. I was like, damn, it sucks. I'm not going to be able to do some of the things that I wanted to do. And then as I looked at it, I'm like, man, I don't really get to do a lot of the things that I like to do anyway. I was like, it's kind of sucks. But when I look at the reality of it, take a time and step back and step out of it, it's like, man, really like what I like the most and what I was intrigued by the most, I'm not a part of anymore. And they're just not doing it anymore. It's just not, it doesn't exist. Um, and then so you start to think like, well, like then what does that mean, right? Like, if you're not able to fulfill those things, that give you fulfillment and not able to do those things that you like, it's kind of like, well, what is the point? And then you have to ask yourself, well, then, like, what is your why? Why are you doing this? And then I think once you realize that piece, it's like, okay, I can do these things outside. I don't have to necessarily work at X, Y, or Z in order to do these things. And I can do these same things everywhere, you know. And it's true, like I still engage with families and kids and parents and people the same way I did, but now just a different way. And it's a more unfiltered version of myself. Um, it's a truer self. It's a more relaxed self, a more enjoyable self. Like I said, I feel different. I feel better. I feel good. Worked an 11 and a half hour day yesterday. I came home, had a little pizza, watched a little Big Bang, worked out a little bit, did some stretches, went to bed. And it's like I did the same thing the night before. I go to work. I'll come home at night. I'll get a workout in, be in my room, dancing around, have all this crazy energy. It used to be a time when I would get off of work. I might be able to get a workout in, and then I would have to pick and choose. Like, do I want to play video games? Do I want to read a comic? Do I want to watch a TV show? Um, and then I had certain things that I wasn't even really like able to. It was almost like a treat, like something that like, oh man, oh let me anime. I'm actually wearing an anime shirt right now, so it's really fitting. One of my favorite favorite thing. Like I love anime, and I forget sometimes just how much I love it and why I love it so much, and how it's literally like a blender of everything else that I'm into. You know, it's like video games, music, movies, action, romance, comedy, and animation. You know, it's just like everything thrown into like crazy animation, standard animation, new animation, old animation, twisted, blended, thrown together. It's the coolest shit in the universe. I love it to death. I love manga. I love comic books, but I love the idea of reading Japanese format. Um, it was like it's backwards. It's like it's not backwards. It's just their format, and I love it. People are like, "Isn't that hard?" You know, you're kind of like reading from the right to the left, and I'm like, "No, no, no. It's really like once you get it down and once you start doing it, it's amazing. I love it." Um, and so I've had more time to jump into that. Like I'm actually like, you know, I have time to like get up, and like watch some Sailor Moon or read some, you know, Kaiju number 8 and just chill out and enjoy all these things that I love, you know, and it's really amazing. But it's just it's you know sometimes when I start these videos out, it's funny. I don't know where they're going to go, where they're going to land, what's going to wind up happening. Um, but you know, the whole piece was when I kind of started out about talking about being true to yourself and being able to be who you are, and kind of walking you through what this new job and this new role and all this stuff has kind of looked like. And then as I've kind of gone through the weekend and I've had my, you know, my Father's Day and all of these different things, it's really cool. It's like it's really, you know, it's kind of come together. You know, and one of the reasons why I like to do this and share these things with you guys is, you know, like celebrating, you know, not drinking and like kind of like reliving my life. You know, it's like I spent, you know, most of my 20s and 30s, I kind of feel like in this filtered haze of alcohol. And now for like the first time, I'm actually able to enjoy life for, you know, what it is. I compare it to like once you've realized life is good, you know, steak is delicious. It doesn't need steak sauce, you know. Like if you cook a steak right, it's good on its own. You don't need to add any sauce to it, man. Um, and what's really cool is I talk about like, you know, and then finding those things that you like, you know, like if it's comics, if it's whatever, building model trains and stuff like that, like, you know, to channel your energy into that. Like I used to channel my energy into like, you know, day drinking and goofing off, and now I like to channel it into more hobbies. And some people say like, oh, you're wasting your time with comics and you're wasting your time with this and that, but it's a good way to waste your time. You know, it's a less destructive way of wasting your time. And it was great. I was actually yesterday talking with somebody, same that he was going through 10 years himself of being sober, and it was really cool. And you know, I caught him looking at Hot Wheels, and it was just like he's like, yeah, man, this is my thing now. This is what I do. You know, I just go around, I pick up Hot Wheels cars. And he's like, I used to drink all the time, and da 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 da. And it's like now I do this, and I was like, oh my God, dude. We talked for a few minutes. I was like, man, you are so beautiful. I was like, I told him, I was like, man, you have made my day. We gave each other a little fist bump. I was like, you know, dude, I'm going on 4 years myself. I know exactly what you're talking about. This is awesome. And it was just a cool, man. It was a really cool vibe yesterday of like all of this reassurance that like, yeah, dude, you're doing the right thing. You know, you're making the right moves. You're influencing people the right way, and you're making connections with people who are going through and sharing those same experiences with you. And it's like if you're doubting yourself, if you're like, man, am I doing this right? You know, you bump into dude in the Hot Wheels section, and you realize, hey, man, this is this is okay. This is good. It was a really cool moment. It was like one of those things. Like I was like I'd just done a lot of this like yesterday, talking about like you know. Um, Playing video games and watching movies through an unfiltered lens and kind of like doing it again for the first time. And it's like, oh man, it was really cool. Like, you know, kind of being able to hype myself up in a sense. And then, like I said, I bumped into this guy, no more like an hour later, and have this conversation. I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. This is exactly what I was just talking about. So it was just a really cool moment.
And like I said, you know, you're able to do these things no matter what you're doing in life. Stan Lee said something, he was like, anybody can be a superhero. It doesn't matter. You can be a cop, you can be a firefighter. And then he said, you can be a cashier at a supermarket and still be a superhero. You know? And I totally believe that. Uh, but yeah, it was just, well, it's something about Hot Wheels. This is funny, man. Like, so yesterday I spent a lot of time around that section, and I don't think I saw one kid. And I saw a lot of kids yesterday. And I don't think I saw one kid get excited about some Hot Wheels. Like, I think one kid got one, and it was like, his mom was like, "Do you want this one?" He's like, "Yeah." And then he's like picking up like a slime or something, or she's like, "You want that?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You sure you don't want a car? Why don't you get this one?" And she's like, "You want this one? Okay." And I'm like, "What? Like your mom just gave you like a purple crazy looking like Mustang with whatever on this, like you're what, dude?" Like when I was a kid, man, Hot Wheels were the shit, right? Like I was all over some Hot Wheels. Single kid yesterday walked by was really looking at the Hot Wheels. What's interesting is all of the adults, it's like Nerf guns, man. They're not for kids. It's like they if you even look at like the marketing for Nerf guns and stuff, it's always like college age and up in their commercials. The same thing with Hot Wheels. It was either some 20-year-old guy or some guy in his 50s, you know, looking at Hot Wheels cars, man. Me too. I was guilty of it too. I was like unpacking Hot Wheels cars the other day. It's like, oh shit, this one's fucking dope. This one's got, what, a Barbie van? I was geeking out, man. It's so funny. It's like Hot Wheels cars are not, I mean, I'm sure there are kids out there that love them, but like, it's just so funny. Like even yesterday, there was these like, I don't know, they must have been like college age girls. And they're just like looking for like wrapping paper and gift bags and shit. And they walk by and they're like, "Oh, Hot Wheels!" And they got like fucking excited. I was like, "This is crazy." It geeked me out. I was like, all these kids walking by, and they want like squishies and slime and shit. And everyone like 17 and up was just losing their shit over some, you know, black whatever. I don't know. They do have a '98 fucking Honda Prelude I'm gonna pick up. It's fucking dope as shit. There's a couple of wheels I'm gonna pick up. Uh, so I'm just as guilty. I give my mom a hard time. It's like, why do you keep buying these freaking Hot Wheels? She'll bring them Hot Wheels too. I'm like, why are you bringing Hot Wheels home? It's like, I like the classic cars. I like the muscle cars. I like the this. I like the that. Like, you're crazy. And then I get to work. I'm like, oh shit, this one's shaped like a telephone. Oh man, it's fucking ridiculous. But I love it. I love it. You know, it's good. I'm happy. I hope y'all are happy. I really enjoyed doing this whole little piece. And like I said, man, just be true to yourself. Just be who you are. I hope you guys have listened to this whole thing, had a good time. Like I said, sometimes I don't even know where I'm going to go with all of this, and then sometimes I think the pieces just kind of work out. And I think this has been kind of a neat little journey over the weekend. Uh, like I said, sometimes too, I just like to kind of catch you up. We're wrapping up June, getting ready to step into July. We got July 4th rolling up. So I'll probably touch base with you guys probably sometime around then. Um, and I know it's been like a crazy, rocky trip these last few weeks, really. But it's really cool. Like I said, I'm still seeing all my peoples. I saw a lot of people yesterday as they were popping in, grabbing Father's Day cards last minute. So something else too I noticed. It's like I feel like with moms, everything is kind of set up. Like you got the flowers coming in the mail, and you got this set up, and you booked the spa day or something like that. You made reservations for the restaurant because it's going to be packed. So you got to get in and make sure it's planned out. I feel like Mom's Day, you plan it out, and then it was just yesterday, like people running, like holy shit, I need a Father's Day card stat. I forgot I had a dad. Oh man, it does sneak up on me. It does sneak up on you. But uh, you know, just again, super ironic, much like my life. Kind of few days, starting out talking about being true and feeling more like myself and more like who I am, uh, to Father's Day and kind of going to Pops and everything he kind of did, and you know, evolving into this thing where I myself, even though I'm not a dad, I was wished Father's Day a ton yesterday. And like I said, I had two people, a stranger and my best friend, both tell me like, "Hey, it's what you do that makes you a dad, and not the fact that you don't have kids." And I was like, "That's pretty awesome." And I don't want to take anything from all the real dads out there, but you know, coming from a beautiful older lady and my best friend who's a father himself, it means a lot. Well, anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Again, thank you so much for just kind of hanging out. Please leave some comments, share, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and until next time, don't spend that quarter anywhere else. See you later, guys.